Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Relo Social Podcast. On today's episode, we have Essie
Mm.
on Esinu. She's a fashion designer in Ghana, and we have her on the episode. So I'm going to allow her introduce herself and tell you what she does fully.
Hi everyone, my name is Esinu. I'm the creative director for the women's wear brand called NINIE, based in Ghana. We actually just focus on badass women who are good at what they actually do. So yeah, that's a bit of introduction about me.
Okay, so stay tuned as we hear her journey. Okay, so can you start by telling us how or what inspired you to become a fashion designer?
Okay, so growing up, I'm always with my mother in her shop, sewing, and then she would ask me to do little things for her, like iron this stuff for me, do this, that for me. And as at that time, it didn't click to me that I would be a fashion designer. I was just helping my mother, and I was good at math, and all I thought was to be an accountant, economist, and all of that. But after SHS, after senior high, most of my elder sisters and then my elder cousins were just at home when they finished their university. They didn't get any job to do, they don't have any skill. So they were just home, looking for job and all that. And then it clicked to me that I'm good at this fashion thing. I helped my mother do it. Back in SS, my friends would be like, oh, trade this for me, do this for me. And Charlie, that was when the actual thought of becoming a fashion designer clicked to me. And at this moment where I realized that I would actually be a fashion designer, very good at it, was when my friend visited me. She was wearing a nice dress, and then I asked her, who made a dress for you? And she was like, my friend, she's in Accra Technical University. She studied fashion, and I was like, wow, that's the moment for me. So I just went to Accra Polytechnic, now Technical University, to learn fashion, and yeah, here we are today. So that's a bit about.
Okay, so basically you
Sorry.
studied fashion.
Yes, I studied fashion.
Okay, so when was the first time you actually made your dress? Like, and then someone, okay, let us know. The first time you made your dress, did someone pay for it? If not, when was the first time you actually made your dress and someone paid for it?
I those days we were in school using the school machine, the assignments and all that to do so many. But the one I could actually remember that I keep saying every time was when I downloaded WeChat. I don't know whether you know WeChat. Yes. That time we were just looking for opportunities and all that. So I just downloaded the app, and then I started uploading some of my assignments and anything that is nice for me. I was actually advertising the brand on WeChat. And this man or this guy contacted me to make 5 shirts for him. That was one of the biggest day of my life, because yeah, the brand is now growing in it. And at that time, I was doing male and female. I was kind of do everything at that time. So yeah, that's what I can remember actually. So I made uh, 5 or 10. It's actually 10 shirts, and it amounted to like 700 cedis back in 2015, 2014. That's actually a big money at that time. So yeah, that's what
So,
I can actually remember.
so
Yeah.
making that money, how did it make you feel?
It made me feel like I was just looking at the money. I was like, wow. So you don't have to work for anyone to make money. You can actually use your hand, your skill, your talent, and your mind to make money. Yeah, so it
Okay,
made me
so
feel good. It made me feel good.
okay, so did you ever work for anybody?
Yeah, national service.
Mm-hmm.
And after national service, I was working for myself, and then I went to teach in a fashion school for like 6 months, and I was like, nah, I'm not made up for this. So I just stopped, and I tried to concentrate on my brand, because you see this corporate or kind of thing, you have to, it's very strict. Like if you are not cut out for it, people will think you are lazy or you don't know what you're
That's true.
about. Yes, so I'm not made up cut out for that. So I just let it go and then started my own, building my brand small small, and here we are now. Yeah.
Yeah, so before I ask you the other question, your name, the name of your brand is
NINIE.
NINIE. So what
Yes.
inspired the name?
I always laugh when they ask me these questions, because after I'm at this level, yeah, what would I say? Getting to this level now, I kind of sat down and then I was like, wow, God was actually drawing a path for me that I didn't even know of. Because back in SHS, I had a friend called, I'm saying this story for the first time.
Oh,
I had a
okay. We are
friend,
lucky to hear
yes,
it.
I had a friend called Miriam.
Okay.
And then back in the house, when we vacate and all that, their parents were calling her Mimi. That's like
NINIE.
Mimie. So that's
Okay.
how they were calling her at home. And then there was this time the parents visited her, and they they were calling her Mimi. Mimi was like, I was that. So we were like making fun of all those things. So we
Mm.
went back to the hostel or the dormitory, we're calling her Mimi. So all our friends, if you are called Jemima, they will say Gigi, like
Gigi.
J. Yes. So I'm called Innocentia. That's my
Ah,
English or Christian name,
okay.
and they short it like
Okay.
So they were like Nini, NINIE. That was how it started. So I that thing that name I wrote it down in one of my diaries, and when we went to
Mm,
school, fashion school, and then we were to name our brand, I was like, wow, this is because that Nini, when you translate it in my local language, it actually means how much. So
okay.
I just like it, and I I I I use this for the brand name. I don't know what to say at that
Oh, that's
side.
fine. So now you said then you were doing for both male and female.
Yes,
What
yes.
made you focus on just female?
For female, it
Mm,
was my mom. It's actually inspired by my mom.
okay. And that means your mom was a fashion
Yes, my
designer
mom
too.
was a tailor or
Okay.
seamstress kind of, but she was actually a fashion designer because she was creating her own
Mm-hmm.
designs at a point. So she's actually a fashion designer. Those days they don't know anything about this fashion
Mm-hmm.
thing. They were just sewing and making money. So she's actually a fashion designer. So sorry, what was the question again?
Why did you choose to focus on just
The
female?
female. Okay, so my mother was denied education because she was a female, right?
Okay.
Her father was like, they don't send girls to school because their place is at the kitchen, and
Mm,
you just have to be at the kitchen, get married, give birth, and all that. But my mother was like, no, there's more to this, because she wrote her, I don't know, is it BC those days? She
mm-hmm.
was the third student, like she scored she was among the best three in the
Okay.
districts.
Oh wow.
Yes, in the district. But my grandfather said she was not going to go to
Even when
school.
she was the best one, like one of the top
Yes,
three.
yes, yes,
Really?
yes. The teachers went to my grandfather, the elders in
And he
the
refused.
community went to him. He said, no,
Wow.
yours is to um, be in the kitchen, give birth to us, and and then that's it. But my mother was actually determined to do something for herself. So
Okay.
she went to learn fashion, and then she did the fashion, and she was good at it. And it was my dad who actually took her to learn the fashion thing,
Okay.
and she was good at it. The reason why I'm saying all these stories to kind of link it to why I chose to do for only female.
Female.
Yes. So she vowed to herself that any child that she give birth to, and it's a girl, she was going to go to school. And fortunately for my mother, she gave birth to all girls. We are all
Oh,
four girls. And she made sure that we went to school. All of us went to school. At least you should finish university. It got to a point that my dad had some difficulties. My mom stood up and took us, all of us, to school. And she was an inspiration to the people in the area. Like
okay.
a lot of people started sending their girl children to school.
Yeah.
Yes, so she was actually like an influencer if she were to be.
Yeah, she's definitely an
Yes,
influencer of female education.
exactly. If she were to be in about like this age and all that, she would have been an influencer and all that. So I saw that, I was like, no, there is more to women, E- even till today, it
Yeah.
will shock you that
What's
there are.
funny, yeah, there are people are still repeating the same thing
Yes,
that your
yes.
grandfather
So
said. Mm.
as a woman and as someone who has heard my mom's story and someone who is passionate about women, I want to make clothes for women
I feel
to
you.
celebrate their success, to tell them that yes, you can do it. To tell you that if somebody says that you can't do it, or someone is limiting you, you yourself can get up and do something for your own.
True.
So all things are possible, whether you're a man or a woman. So I just decided to like focus on women, make clothes for women, and to tell them that yes, anything you wear from NINIE is
Yeah.
actually empowering you to get up and do something for yourself, like my mother.
Yeah, so that makes sense. And I
Yeah.
like that you're highlighting that because a lot of people, yeah, I know during International Women's Day,
Mhm.
I see a lot of people like to complain, why are women getting free education, free stuff? I think some people are tuned out to the point that they don't know that women are actually still in 2024. A lot of women, girls, young girls
Yes.
are still denied education.
Education
They
because they
can
are
be
girls. Yes.
exact, and that's just because they are girls.
Mhm.
And this is not because they are not good at school or they can't read. No, a lot of them are intentionally being denied education. So I like that you're highlighting that because for me, I'm also passionate about women.
Yeah.
I have even a podcast episode that is like segmented to just talk about what we
Women.
struggle.
Wow,
And that
that's
doesn't mean
good.
that men don't have their own struggle, but because I'm a woman, I'm able to relate to
You
women's
know, men
struggle.
have their struggle, but because they are not women, they don't really understand
Yes, and I wish,
what
yeah, I
what to
wish
go
there
through.
was a way that people can show compassion, regardless
Yes,
of you being a man or a woman.
yes,
You should be
yes,
able to
yes.
lean into and understand that, you know what, I may not get it, but people have their own struggles. So I feel you. So, okay, so what
Thank
was the
you.
first piece you created for a woman when you decided to, you know what, I'm going to focus on women?
Okay, so the first piece,
Mm-hmm.
my sister is also passionate about the women
Oh,
being the master of themselves. Let me
yeah.
put it like that. So because she has been telling me stories and all that, the first clothes I actually made when I decided to be a women's wear brand was for my sister. She was using it for her. She has a tech company, so she
Okay.
was using it to do one of her launches and all that. It was actually a black dress. Black is powerful,
Yes.
is bold and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a black dress, long sleeve. Was It's very nice. I wish I can show pictures to our audience
Um, oh,
to
you still
see.
have, if you still have the pictures, I can show them.
Yeah, okay, I'll show
Okay,
it to
so
you.
before we even proceed, now what's the difference between being a tailor, a seamstress, or any fashion designer?
You know why I'm laughing?
Why? Because in Africa they group everything.
I've actually have this argument. I've been saying this
Mm-hmm.
on my Facebook profile. And it's an argue. Like people don't really agree to you sometimes when you say these things.
True.
But the thing is, we were used to that. That was what we were taught.
Mm-hmm.
Until I went to school, I was like, come on, this fashion thing is big, is broad. It's every day we learn.
True.
So that's why I'm laughing because there's a difference between a fashion designer, a tailor, and then a seamstress, right?
Yes.
Okay. So a fashion designer is someone who actually design clothes, right? You think about, you imagine clothes, you imagine how it will be on the person, you imagine the color that it will be, the proportions, how it will fit on the person, you imagine it, and then you draw it on paper. We have a fashion illustrator. If you are not perfect at
Yes.
drawing, yes, you can give it to the fashion illustrator to illustrate for you, but you have to do a rough sketch because
Okay.
the illustrator is not going to go into your mind
That's true.
and get a design. So you have to like draw a rough sketch, and then the illustrator would um, do the the actual drawing for you. So a fashion designer is someone who actually creates, like, design clothes. When we move to the tailor, a tailor, it's someone who make the clothes that the fashion designer
Designers.
has
Okay.
designed, right? So when we go into detail, and a tailor is someone who just sew like jackets, those kind of
That have already been designed,
yes,
basically.
yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Those jackets, making tailored jackets and all that
Mm-hmm.
for men, but is you can actually make for women.
Oh, really?
But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but they actually go into that. Like they specialize into making those tailored suits, jackets, and all that. So a seamstress is someone who make clothes like female clothes,
Mm-hmm.
not a woman who make clothes, but like someone who makes a
Female
female
clothes.
clothes. Yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. That's a seamstress.
Okay. Okay, so for how long now have you been operating as a business?
I started taking the fashion thing serious. Okay, I'm professional. Like me doing my
Mm-hmm.
sewing, it's been long.
Okay.
It's been very long, like after national service. But when
Mm,
I decided to take it serious, like professionally, register the business and all that was
okay.
actually 2020. Yes, yes,
2020.
yes,
Okay,
yes.
so did you start with a business plan?
Um, no,
Okay.
I didn't really, but I kind of had in mind what I wanted to do,
Okay.
but I just didn't sit down
To create a plan.
to create a plan to know, like, create a roadmap, like
I
from here
get
you
it.
have to move to here, but I know what I actually wanted to do.
Okay.
So later on I got the road the business
Plan.
plan and all that.
Okay,
Yes,
that makes sense. So when you were starting as a business, what struggles did you face?
the struggles we face it every
But
day.
what was the most challenging thing about that period?
You know, finding tailors, seamstress, like people who will sit behind the machine and bring out your idea to life.
Okay.
It's a struggle. Even till today, it's a struggle. It's struggle, sorry. It's either they make their clothes, and then when you are telling them that what you have done is not what I want, then they get pissed. Like it's like they know, and then you are now coming to tell them what to
But it's
do.
your own vision.
Yeah, it's a struggle, like it
Wow.
even till today. So
Mm-hmm.
like I recently got someone who understand what I actually want to do, like to, but previously you give something to someone to do for you, and my god, they make it seem like me. Yes, I know, I'm in my house, like I'm in my, what do you want?
Wow.
Yeah, so it's really a struggle, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This our this part of the world. It's really hard to make this business if you don't, if you are not financially stable. You know, elsewhere like Europe, America, you just draw your designs, you give it to a production house, they produce the clothes for you,
Wow.
you take it in, and then you sell it. But here, you go and then you give it to a tailor to do for you. You go and come, they've done completely different thing for you.
When
But
we're
you
growing
know,
up, I have a story. When we're growing up, you pick a design on like a catalog that they have.
yeah,
You go and come back, and this person will tell you that my religious belief did not allow me
me
to
to
sew
sew
this.
this for you. Come on, do you understand my
Like,
struggle?
are you alright?
So I'm happy everyone understands this
Oh,
because it's a struggle, you know. Some of the things you create it in your mind. Me, I dream about designs a lot, like, but how to bring them to life is because the person you are going to give it to make for you will even be looking at you like, what are you? Why are you wearing this? Why?
instead
What?
of you to make what they've given
Yes,
you,
and then
yeah.
I'm paying you. No, it was actually a struggle, but
Oh
thank God
wow.
that all those things um are in the past now because I've actually gone back to school to learn a few pattern drafting and got someone who also understand what I want to
Oh,
bring to
okay.
life. Yes,
That
yes,
makes sense.
yes.
So, like right now, as like NINIE brand, what is your most made kind of clothes? What kind of clothes do you make
Like
more
I
of?
said in my introduction, I just make clothes for baddies, like badass women. You
True.
know, I you know when you
Like, do you
say,
have a certain kind of, how like put it? Maybe certain kind of clothing, for
yeah, for
example.
me, for
Mm-hmm.
my brand, what we are focusing on is to, you know, I've sewn for women a
Mm-hmm.
lot because I kind of ditch the men along the way. I sew for women a lot, and when they come
Mm-hmm.
for fitting and they are telling you their vision, how they want to uh, look in
Look.
the dress, they are just particular about their waist. Make
Okay.
my waist smaller, give me bigger hips, and then so I focused on that, right?
Okay.
So any clothes that you see me or you see my brand making, we focus on the waist
Waist.
side. We make it
Okay.
a bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you exaggerate it, but that's the brand. And also, I like sharp shoulders. Like,
Okay.
I don't know why I'm in love with military. Like, I just love when I
Okay.
see soldiers. That's how come I
Ah.
love boots.
Oh yeah, I've been seeing your videos.
Yeah, that's how come I love boots. So I one thing you also realize is the shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
When you take notice of the shoulder, we spend a lot of time on the shoulder
Okay.
and then the waist.
Okay.
And the last thing I will say, or I don't know whether I should leave it when we go into the collection, but I think I should leave it when we go to the collection. I'll explain the third one
Okay, that makes sense.
more. But you will see the waist being smaller. So if you are a woman and then you want your waist to be smaller, like it's big naturally, but
Mm-hmm.
I shouldn't have said that.
Oh no, it's fine. I mean, everybody has a way they want to look
Yes,
or
yes,
appear.
yes. Just come to me, like give me that trust. I'll make
Mm-hmm.
your waist look smaller for you, and
Okay.
your shoulder perfect.
I get
So
that.
that's what I we concentrate on. Yeah.
Okay. So now doing a fashion business in Accra, what does that feel like? What is
You know, when you collect the money, it's sweet. Hi, Esinu, I just sent you Momo check. It's
okay?
very sweet when at that side. It's very sweet. And
uh,
when I'm designing clothes, thinking about designs, it's very sweet.
mm-hmm.
But you know, it's a struggle. It's a very big struggle, but actually, this is what we want to do. So we just have to make it seem good,
So in
and then make it.
What's the struggle? Is it the time frame? Was it the fitting?
No, for me, I would say one major problem doing business when it comes to sewing and doing all those things, you get it. But like delivery, getting the dress from my end, like distribution, like getting the dress from my end to the clients, and because most of the time they come for fitting and all that. But giving it to a delivery guy, as I have made a dress, right? I have done my part, and I give it to the delivery guy to deliver for me. It has left my hands. There's nothing I can do now. Now it's the delivery. It goes. Yeah, everything depends on the delivery guy, right? And the delivery guys, I don't know. Some of them, not all of them, do. But some of them, I don't understand. They are coming and then they look some type of way, and then your heart. So if someone dressed like this is going to deliver your dress, it's your brand.
Yes. Oh, people have had like terrible delivery.
Yeah. So last time, just last week, I made a dress for someone outside Accra, and they have to deliver the dress to him at the bus, through the car.
Yes.
I knew that it is not the place of a delivery guy to go and give something to a transport delivery, right? But
some delivery guys do that actually.
Yes, so I knew he was going to run errands for me. I was just tight. I couldn't do it myself. We couldn't do it ourselves. So I just called this guy and I was like, oh, go and then do this for me. And I paid you extra. Of what,
just so that
you know that what you are doing for me is not for free. I'm paying you for the errand plus the delivery. This guy went to the station. Didn't pay the driver. Do you get it? He didn't pay the driver. He paid. I sent him everything from
the bus fare,
your money, and then the errand you are running for me too. He collected the money and never paid the driver. So the driver got to the client, and then the client told me, am I paying 2 times of the delivery? I was like, no, what's happened? Then I called, he told me that the driver said he was not paid. So I have to call the guy back, and I was like, what happened? It was like, the driver was in a hurry, some story. And I'm like, so why didn't you tell me? If you don't tell me, the person there would think I am cheating. And then it's my brand that you are kind of painting black. Let me put it like that. I'm serious. I didn't really understand what was going on.
Whoever can solve the delivery problem in Accra doesn't know what to do for small business.
And sometimes when they are going to deliver your clothes for you, they have to look a certain type of way because the brand you are building and all that. And oh my gosh. I'm sure everybody knows
even the way they will handle the item they are going to deliver.
I've done nice packaging, put in a box, branded. By the time it gets to
they don't even know what they are looking at.
Come on, it's a struggle in Accra. So the government should just actually look at the small brands growing up.
We need to have a delivery service that
Ghana Post actually started that. I was so happy. I didn't know why they stopped. Yeah, they were so professional, so good at what they do. And all of a sudden, I don't know what happened, and that was it.
That's sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so for someone that wants to go into the fashion design business, what would you advise them to do?
If you don't have money, I'm telling you the honest truth. Don't just get up and then because you see someone making a lot of money from it, don't just do that
and say you want to do it.
You want to do it. I'm not saying you should go and look for plenty money, no, but you should have a budget, a business plan, like you said. When you asked me about the business plan, I told you I knew what I wanted to do, but it wasn't just on paper.
True.
You should have a business plan, a roadmap. From this year to this year, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to be. You should have a plan. You should have money to support the plan. And when I say money, or it's not. Sometimes networking is money.
Yes,
right.
True.
Talking to people that
meeting
going out. the job that you want to do, it's people's job. So you have to go out, look at what people are wearing, ask questions, get data, gather data, know what people like at this season, what they don't like at this season.
Mhm.
Do all those work down before you start a fashion brand
I'm
in
getting.
Ghana. Yes,
Mhm.
you can't just get up and say, oh, people are making money, so let me also. It's a lot of work. You should have a lot of money. And when I say money, like I said, it's not a physical money. Like
Mhm.
you should make friends,
Everything all
network.
together.
Yes, everything together before you see that when you start, you just go like that.
I'm getting. Okay. So have your money, have your plans. So for you, yeah, how would you say you have improved as a fashion designer?
Just doing the honest work, like be true to yourself. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's I'm always true to myself. When a client come and fits a dress in my room
Mm-hmm.
or in my showroom,
Okay.
if it doesn't fit it if it doesn't fit well on you, I'll tell you that, oh no, this side I'll not allow you to take it out.
True. Yeah.
Because when the person takes it, sometimes when they are fitting, they are happy, they are in those happy moment fitting and
Mm-hmm.
all that, they themselves don't actually look at the dress well till they get home
And somebody looks at
and
it.
someone looks at it, or they look into it in their mirror before they will actually um
See
see.
what they
So
don't like.
you have to be honest, you have to tell yourself the hardest truth. If it's not fitting right proportionally on the person, please
Let
take it
them
and
know. Mm-hmm.
and do it back. Yes. So, and also creating like creative designs. um you know, I'm alone, like I'm doing everything alone
Mm-hmm.
now that I started bringing outsourcing a whole lot of things just this year, but throughout the years I was actually doing so. People were actually following me that I didn't even know. Like they were looking at just a young girl trying to start her fashion business and how dedicated she is to her business and all that. So that's actually keep me going. Or was that another question?
It's fine. No, that's not how you've improved. Which is it?
Yeah,
Being
okay.
honest. Yeah,
Being honest,
dedication, basically.
dedication, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay, I feel you. So if you could start your business again from the beginning today, what would you do differently?
I paused for some
Why?
time.
What would you do differently from when you started?
What I would have done differently, I think I gave that advice when you asked about the giving advice to people who want to
Okay.
start their fashion business.
Okay.
I'll just go and look for a lot
More.
of money.
I feel
And
you.
I keep saying that when I say money, is
Mm,
not
I understand. It's everything
it's,
together.
it's not just
Networking,
the
physical
the
cash.
physical cash,
Yes.
like cash, like networking. You know, when I was in school, right?
Mm,
I'm someone that when I'm happy when I'm alone, even though I'm not a shy type or introvert or
mm,
whatever they say, but I'm not that. But when I go into like midst of people, I'm kind of reserved. I don't know where that thing came from, but I sat down to realize that it was coming from something that happened to me in the past. So
okay.
I'm trying to overcome it. When I go into the midst of people, then I've become quiet. Like I don't know,
Oh,
but that's not the kind of person I am.
and that's
And then I have friends who were actually like talking to people. Hi, I'm
open.
this. I'm a fashion designer. I'm like, how will I do this? They were doing those things,
Mm,
right? And it helped them
true.
because they network, they got the right people at a point to help their brand and all that. And for me, if I'm starting now, I think that's one thing now I would have done. I would have,
Yeah, I feel you.
yeah,
Even me, as someone that is into tech and marketing as well, it took me a while for me to be able to talk to people.
yeah,
It's uncomfortable, but then I have to practice to get comfortable with it. So it's not like I talk to everybody. No, I don't talk to everybody. it depends on what I'm approaching you for. Exactly.
And you can't just go to the person and say, hey, I'm a fashion designer.
Yeah, it's not.
Yes, you can't do
I
that.
feel
Hey, oh, you say that, oh, I'm into tech, I want to be your friend.
Not
No,
really.
you have to like be nice, strategy, like that kind of
For
thing.
me, yeah, what happened this year was my angle was podcast. I realized I asked, oh, do you listen to podcasts? They'll be like, oh yes, I do. I'm like, fine, I have a podcast in this and that. This is what I do. You get, which is also you're trying to know them and also kind of like tell them about yourself. Which to me, I find that makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
Than when you're just approaching people without any or just only about yourself.
So you really have to sit down and then
figure out how you want
plan,
to
like
go about
strategize how you have to go about all these things. When you want to be a boss, like you want to do your own thing, you have to master at least some. You can't do everything on your own, but there are certain things that you have to
like
do.
Interpersonal skills.
Yes.
I feel it. So we've come to like the final questions for this episode. As you are starting your own, you are doing your own business, you are your own boss and all. How do you should I say find the balance, but how are you able to balance your personal life with your business? Do you make time for yourself, your health? What do you do that brings you joy apart from your business?
Okay, so for a long time I was just doing everything like that. Come on, yeah, we want to build a business, so yeah, you have to like be everywhere. And even at 1 a.m. you are working. Come on, it will just worry you. For lack of a better word, it will just worry you. You have to. For now, what me I have come to do this year is to have time for myself and be disciplined. Right? So I've separated the business from my personal life. Yes. So you could see that in the evening when I'm working, I start work at 9. I try to I'm now trying to follow the what is done. Yes, so 9 to 5. I'm working from 9, 12 break, and then 5 I go for jogging. I try to keep the body in shape, keep myself healthy mentally and all that. And yeah, that's what's sometimes or first you'll be working at 1 a.m. you are still working.
Yes. It has to drain you.
It actually affected most of my relationships. Yes. You are working. Your partner say, oh, let's go here. Charlie, I have some dress that I have to finish.
You have some dress you are making.
I have some dress I'm making. I can't go out today. And then it really affected me. It really affected me. Those are the things that I'll tell people to take. Those who want to do like fashion and all that, you should be disciplined. When you say 5, you want to close at 5, you have to close, and then you have to like manage your time, calculate what you want to do. When first they say that when you are not good at maths or you're not good at school, that's when you go and learn a fashion design.
But that's not true.
Absolutely, it's not true. It's not true. You have to calculate every move. If you don't, you will crash. So yeah, so I just decided, what made me to actually learn all these things was when I went back to school. I went to Christy Brown Academy. I was part of the first cohort. That was when our eyes were open to a lot of things that we're taking for granted. Right? You don't have time for yourself. You are so in it. So what? You have to have time for yourself. Go out, like have fun. Who knows? When you go out and then you're having fun, that's where your biggest client is coming from. But you're in the room. I'm sewing. I'm doing this. I'm designing. I'm doing all of that. So yeah, that's what I've decided to do now, to have time for
Okay,
myself.
so when you started, did you ever experience anything like self-doubt, fear? And how are we able to?
Naturally,
Mm-hmm.
you experience self-doubt. You
Okay.
think that, oh, I'm done. Like, come on, what's going on? Will I make it? God, are you there? Are you watching me go through all of this?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
There are moments that I don't sleep at all. Yes. You know, when you're on Instagram, you are scrolling, you are seeing
Mm-hmm.
brands. There
People are
was
doing things.
there was this day that I was scrolling and then I saw this brand. It's a UK based brand. And the lady is making so much and I'm like, God, can
Out
it,
of me.
yes, am I your child?
I,
Like, am I not part of your
I
children?
feel
You see.
you.
So self-doubt, it's been there, but at the end of the day, the values that you have, your core values, what you want to achieve at the end of the day,
Mm,
and God is what is keeping us to um, move forward and all that. Self doubt is there, but we have strength and God's strength that will make us overcome the self doubts.
okay. Since we are in the final month of 2024, what has this year taught you? What have you learned about the business? What have you learned about yourself this year?
This year, I have learned that, oh, I'm good at this and
Ooh,
I'm going to do it.
that's good.
Like I said, I went back to school.
Mm-hmm.
We were exposed to a lot of things. This morning, my friend actually called me from school and she was telling me, Esinu, we've learned a lot from Christy Brown. Oh." I said, yes. So we've actually learned a lot, like the business side of fashion,
Yeah.
not just the sewing, the
Mm-hmm.
designing and all that, the business part of fashion. That's one of the things that I actually learn is that you can't do everything on your own.
True.
You can't. You can never. Because you are designing, maybe you give it to a tailor to make for you, and what they've done, you don't like it. So you have to sit down and alterate and all that. To marketing, to distribution, a whole lot of things
Mm-hmm.
that you can't do alone, right? That's what I've learned. So I've actually come to understand that you have to outsource
Certain things.
certain things. You can't do all.
Okay. So I know you are launching a line, yeah, this year.
Yeah, a
So,
collection actually.
okay, collection. So, tell us a brief thing about it
Okay.
and what you like people to get from it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole of the base of this collection or the core of this collection
Mm-hmm.
is just to celebrate women.
Okay.
I keep on saying
Yeah.
that.
So women need to be celebrated.
Yes. And then I also keep on saying from the beginning
Mm-hmm.
that the whole brand, the whole thing, business is actually built, or the idea actually came from what I've witnessed with my mother
Okay.
when the father said
Yeah.
she wasn't going to go to school just because she's a woman. This collection is actually coming out to tell everyone, especially women, that
Mm-hmm.
you can do everything you put your mind to
True.
do. So I named the collection the Boss Lady Collection because it's actually for the boss ladies,
Mm-hmm.
the badass women who are good at what they do. Back in the village when I was with my mother and she was sewing for women, influential women in our
Mm-hmm.
community, like the whole district, their nurse, the head of school, and all those big women came to my mother to sew for them. And then I right now I'm like, hey, how did my mother do all these things? Was able to pull all these things to do. And I've come to realize that it's just dedication
True.
and discipline. So this whole collection is to just celebrate badass women, baddies. I keep on saying baddies, badass women, women who are good at what they do,
True.
right? So when you're looking at women like CJ Walker, Oprah Winfrey, Ya Santua, Miss Aisha Ayensu, Maya Angelou, all these women,
Women.
yes, this collection is just to celebrate the
Sure.
empowerment of women. So in the collection you will see that the brands, it says like the small waist, there's exaggerated small waist, the shoulder, and then there's this technique that I'm using called in Ewe Hakui. So it's like you see broom, the way when you put the broom down like one, that's feel, or that's how do I say this, that image that you get. So when not when you tie them together, like the broom that we used to sweep in the
Back
village,
then, yeah.
when you put them down, that feel that you get. So it's called a hakui.
Okay.
In Ewe, broom means a ha, or a ha like a ha. So when it one like that, it's called a hakui,
Okay.
right? But when you bring them together, they'll do what you like you want them to do for you.
True.
But it can't do for you
Just one.
just
Yeah.
individually. So you have to bring them together. So it's actually like unity, like
I feel
bringing
you.
them together to, yes. So I'm bringing that technique into the collection. I actually saw it from my mother. She was
Okay.
doing it for those back in the days. They just use it the hakui technique at the neck area. They
Okay.
just gather it at the neck area and then leave the rest of the dress to flow and all that. But I said, I was like, no, this thing can be used in a different
way.
ways. Like, so when you look at the teasers, the campaign videos that I'm posting, the hand, the sleeve, you could see that there's some hacky technique there. Yes,
Okay. I feel
So
you.
that's what I'm actually bringing into the collection for the badass women, for the baddies out there.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so
That's good to know. So we are grateful that you're able to come on this episode to tell us about your journey and your new collection. So is there anything that I didn't ask that you like to share?
you've asked everything. You've asked almost everything. But what I would want to end with is that I was just a small girl who didn't know anything about business. I just wanted to make money because I saw people do a lot with money, and I was like, wow, I want to be like that. And then I started, and here we are. So just do whatever you want to do, put your mind to it, plan. It's not going to be easy, but when you are consistent, we will all get to where we are going to.
True.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for coming on this episode.
You're welcome.
And we hope to do more,
Yeah, of course.
basically. And we wish you the best in launching your collection
Thank you.
and sharing it with the boss ladies that are out there that want to.
The name of the collection is actually Boss Lady. I don't know whether I said that. So
yes, you did. So,
yes,
boss ladies, I hope you are able to be a part of this collection to celebrate you and everything you're doing.
Thank you.
All right. So that's it for this episode.